I swear to God, if my neighbors set off the fire alarm again... Don't even. Hello. Sorry I like go into fight or flight now every time I smell my neighbors cooking something because they've set off the fire alarm so many times recently. Hi, hello, welcome back to Ace Attorney Trilogy, specifically Justice for All, even more specifically Case 2 Turnabout Reunion. Last time we met Dr. Gray and then unmet him because he died. Oh, I should share this. He was killed, and the culprit is Maya, because of course it is. So we're gonna be defending Maya for the second time. And we're facing Von Karma's prodigy child, like literal child. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, I said I would be better about posting in the Discord, and I'm being better about posting in the Discord. Alright? So anyway, we're gonna get to the trial. Okay. I'm a little tired today. I had a very, very weird, vivid dream. It was awesome. But it did wake me up at 3:59 a.m. So, I'm a little tired. So let's get into this. I don't know if we'll get through the whole trial part today. Depends on how worn out my voice gets. Oh my god. My allergies are also a mess. What's new?
What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean...
No, I heard it's his successor this time.
Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, all so he could win.
He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor. I wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be.
It's no good.
Oh, fuck.
Every day's great. Mystic Maya! Pearly! You showed up! Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said that they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep. I snuck out of the manor and followed a map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not! I ran!
She's a JoJo character. If anyone in this series is a JoJo character, it is Pearl Faye. Motherfucking Pearl Faye is a JoJo character. I can't... Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train? Oh man.
Pearly? What about the train? Huh? It's a train?
I give up.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me?
Like, date you? I mean...
At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the end. It was always back and forth with them. When you're rivals for life.
Maya, please don't mention that name ever again.
Huh? But why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back.
What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway.
Nick?
Damn. I missed her. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? Hi, girl. Hey. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Oh god, okay, I'm gonna do my best. So full disclosure, I hung out with like a ton of German people when I lived in Japan, but that was like 11 years ago. And I went to go listen to like videos that my friend had uploaded on her YouTube channel. She's privated them all. Which was so sad. So I was like, damn it. So this might not be the most accurate accent. I'm so sorry, but I'm doing my best. Sorry, anyone German who watches this. What pitch voice she should be? She should be probably about mid-range. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, you must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor von Karma? I am Francisco von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking! If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Ow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Whoa, that went British for a second. Those of von Karma blood have only one fate. And that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will have no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position, is it? Suddenly pouring rain or something? Okay. Your Honor. Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish! If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Fran is baby, by the way, as soon as it lets me. She is simply 18, Your Honor. She's a baby. They're the same age. That's crazy.
Witness, your name and occupation?
Yes, sir. My name is Dig Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct.
Ow! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
What were they doing in there? Making out like teenagers?
No, Your Honor. They were channeling a spirit, sir.
Channeling a spirit?
That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room.
And that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over.
No.
So, how was the victim killed?
I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time, then.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
Okay. So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. The first witness, whatever.
Whatever. I care not. I do want to look at the evidence again really fast, though, because I kind of forget what we have. So we have this. I don't think we're going to be really dealing with that yet. The diagram. Oh, I think we need to start the trial. Same here. I don't think that we have 8 inches off the ground. This is a small hole. Okay. Diagram of the channeling chamber. Okay. And then after being stabbed in the chest, he was shot on the forehead. Okay. Let's go. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is that who's... Sorry. It is really hard not to slip into a British accent because those are so much more common to do. The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints. There were fingerprints.
Along with the victims, the defendant IFAs were also on the grip, sir.
So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
I walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. God, me too, Fran. Me fucking too. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Just like Sonic Adventure 2. Just like Sonic Adventure 2. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course Maya Faye's fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? Look, this does not look good. So when they channel someone, do their fingerprints change? That'd be cool if not, or if so. Like either, like, did they think about that when they were making this? I don't know. I don't know. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure can be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead is at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them in evidence. 2 shots fired. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And two murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. Has it been less than 10 minutes? That's incredible. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. There's too many questions. Hi, Tetra! How's it going? If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor? Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. Ouch. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective... Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by... Eek! Eek! The judge is saying eek, there's something so funny about that. Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. That's... wrong. Okay. He needs glasses, maybe. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to soak off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's hard not to roll the R, too. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. He's so funny. Right. It's right. I want to roll it because I have the Spanish background, so I want to. Wait, okay, I'm saving over the right thing. I'm trying to bring in, I started learning Farsi. And I'm trying to bring in the of that a little bit. Right. But it's hard. Because it just wants to transition into that role. Languages are hard. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. He's like, just because your boyfriend isn't here doesn't mean that you'd have to be a total bitch. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it is the victim's blood. So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Shouldn't it be glean? Or is it gleam? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Let's move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma here is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. If I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Let's try. Why is Ms. Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? Phoenix is like metagaming in the court. There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. There's a hole. Show hole. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Ms. Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Looks like my time is up. So about the costume. There is one little thing. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you were talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. You were talking about a hole. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Show? I'm gonna get right over it. Bam. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? Oh, there's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. Oh, that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I've found the hole I was looking for. How many times are they gonna say hole today? Shh, with the whole stuff, guys. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order! 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 This is a very grave matter.
It's best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding?
Pull yourself together, detective. A tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds.
Continue with your testimony. That, just now, was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
I agree it's a mistake. It is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way!
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with our testimony.
Yes, sir. Are you sure about that? He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal.
So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder change drastically.
Ugh, we're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Hole. Detective Dick Gumshoe. I love that Phoenix was like, don't say my full name. It's disturbing. And then 10 minutes later is like, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Does the same shit. I love him. What a problem. Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. That's what I'm saying. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right.
It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is with that? Are you finished yet, laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that you...
Why, that's right.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No!
Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense.
Huh? How so?
Oh, don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Do you want the job done right, Fran? You gotta do it yourself, actually. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. But while the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. I fired and I missed. The defendant then picked picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
The scenario you have put together does make sense.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Wright.
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that.
Girl, get your dog. It don't bite. Yes, it do.
Now then, your cross-examination, please.
I love the Allegro version of this cross-examination theme. I think I said that already, but I really do like it a lot. Like the way the bass comes in. And the time signature is so weird. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 13-14 time? Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not moving on until I figure out. Wait. Yeah, I think it's 13-14 time? I don't know. Okay, anyway. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not?
Huh?
When channeling with the crane?
I didn't mean to make that really like crane. German R is hard. I think that was relatively accurate, but maybe a little too rough.
Crane channeling technique. The medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor.
I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Kurain channeling technique. Good for her.
Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it.
You know what? Don't worry about it, Your Honor.
Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony.
So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah. Sorry. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot. So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made by then? Or was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, I think that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. Could I fire a gun?
Now do you understand? Avonkarma's logic is perfect.
His testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. I need to actually read. During the channeling, the defendant was okay. He's okay. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot. He was too close and missed. Okay. Ended it. Is it this again? Because the height... I don't think we're ready to go into the screen shit, but the height of the sleeve isn't right. Because... like... if he was aiming for her, he wouldn't... like, that's a large target. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Show. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where's the gunpowder burn on this costume? Oh, that too. I was thinking if he pointed, like, he was at point blank, then how the fuck did he not, like, hit her? Like, properly hit her. That's a large target, you know? Even larger is the nurse, but that's true too. Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. So this is like, this case I really like for the story. And I like the characters in it and everything. I love the introduction of Fran. I like all the witnesses and stuff. But I do think the logic is a little wonky in parts. Like the fact that this is what we're focusing on here and not the fact that it was point blank and he missed. Oh! But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space in between the doctor and herself. And then while she is preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. It doesn't make sense, but like... There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Ah, yeah. Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. I think this has to be it then, because if he was shooting up, right? Like that's the whole thing. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. See, this is what I would have started with, but that's fine. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen.
Ah!
It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What?
Mr. Wright, your explanation, please.
Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground. Which is, okay, so this is impressive too, because what caliber gun did he have? Or whatever. Like, the force behind that shot must have been pretty strong, because if it passed through her sleeve, the 2 layers that it would have had to pass through, at least 2 layers of fabric that it would have had to pass through, and then it still lodged into the screen. That's a lot of distance that had to cover. The momentum behind that must have been really intense. Which means, when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground.
Order. Order. This changes everything.
Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Which... Wait, what? What are we trying to... Are we proving where she... I mean, she was here. Somewhere around... Uh-oh, the judge's face is scrunched like he smelled some serious bad breath. That is, I mean...
Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush my teeth this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up.
Sure.
In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright.
What are they asking, actually? Of course. Oops. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Maybe... Oh, because I know that she's back here. Is that what we're proving right now? Here.
Behind that folding screen.
The victim and his attacker were fighting, were they not? Then what would the attacker be doing all the way back there? Besides which, if the attacker was behind the folding screen, then how could the victim even know where to shoot? It's obviously impossible. Yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Wright!
Okay, so... Boy, did I just screw up royally. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was. Do I have to be exact? Is that what's happening here? Or is it just like she's in the line of fire? I don't know what they're really asking. Like... Is it here then? She was standing here, near the folding screen. Why? This logic is so weird. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Ms. Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there was nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. And also, again, what I said about the momentum of the shot would not have been able to go through those things. The logic is weird. They're focusing on weird things.
Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Light! You! I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation?
Yes, of course. If she's not in the... Why is she over there? Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at that time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Whoa. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had such a tough time with you. You amuse me. Ugh. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Uh-huh? How is it all my fault? You can start by repairing your standing by removing the first removing that 3-stand goatee. I don't remember this line. This is so wretched, though. Oh, and rest assured, a punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Phew. Oh yeah, that ain't no thing. This trial's quite fast, actually. Even though the logic is weird. Like, am I wrong? Is that logic not a little, like, it's not wrong. It's not wrong, but it's a weird thing that he's focusing on. I feel that it would be so, and maybe this is just because, like, oh my god, that would require too much explanation in the game, and that's why they didn't do it. But to me, in that situation, it would be so, it makes so much more sense to talk about the bullet's trajectory would be fucked. It would not have had enough, even if it had enough power to get to the screen, it wouldn't have pierced through the screen. So they had, like, and then in that case, whoever was wearing this robe had to be close to that screen. That's the logic I would have used. But that, I guess, requires a scientific explanation, and this is Ace Attorney. So, what do I know? Anyway, give me 1 second. Ugh, okay. I pop my back. We are good. Phew. That was a close one.
I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air.
I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself.
But you're wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you.
Thanks. Wait, tricked?
That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart.
Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sis's ghosts will come after you and haunt you. Her sister? Oh, are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that.
Court will now reconvene. Now the first order of the... Oh! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix. How you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know? Yowza! Name and occupation. I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this is here is violence against my fair self. That's fine. That's fine. That ain't fine. That's a whip. Yeah. There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and my job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay? What is this, like a cult now? Move this out so I can sit up a little more. Ish. Only the doc and the defendant went to the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. The moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room. She's on, like, the wrong side, too. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Alright. Lotta, your voice is so easy. It's always a relief to see you. Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room. Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against its own client. Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber here. But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness, continue. I love her little cat face. Was it really a gunshot? You were there, King. Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. And why are we here listening to the defense testify? And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. That's a really good bit that they had going. So, let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down? Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Ms. Von Karma, I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man. Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see. Okay, Judge. Bisexual rights. The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Sad was the dear victim. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Lotta, please think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? Oh. When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, you see. What are her shoes?
Order. Ms. Hart, you are here to present accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered, one of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats. And I'm trapped like one. Again. Other than those two that was in that room. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am. But that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fey? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? The cops are coming. They're coming to get me. Sorry, I gotta make that joke every time. Rhett Given? Huh? What in the... Rhett Given, you know, you reckon? That's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen.
If I may have a word with you, Ms. Hart.
What? You got a problem?
Rhett Given, I mean... I am having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as Rhett Given and for...
Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you? Just as I thought, there's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Ms. Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey. The names rhyme. That's quite nice.
I'm sorry. Forgot my voice. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I going to do? If I just let this go?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Oh, then I'll just conveniently save the game. Doi! Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? What do I have? Wait a minute. I can't see very well. But is there a hole in that sleeve? Because there might not be. Your Honor.
Mr. Wright.
It is possible that the person in this photo is not the defendant.
What? Do you know what you are proposing?
Yeah, that's just plain fool's talk. Thanks, guys. Your show of support was just great.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show the court some proof. Prove to this court.
I'm sorry, I got a big yawn. Can you imagine being a judge in a trial and you yawn so big that you can't hold it back?
Prove to the court that the person in this photo is not Maya Fey.
I think it's this. Okay, hold on. Yeah, there's no gun hole. We would have been able to see it, right? Yeah. I think. I don't know. Here's your proof.
Objection!
Is there a problem? Oh no, I thought I would work on my inflections. Just wondering what an objection with a twist of "you're wrong" sounds like.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I don't follow your logic.
Alright, well, shoot. I guess I wasn't showing enough confidence. Okay, then we don't have anything.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Nothing, Your Honor. That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey. I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument. Didn't we choose give up just now? Did we not? Okay.
that's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it is quite obvious to this court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Ms. Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume.
I couldn't protect Maya. The defense. Phoenix. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Mia. Oh, hello. Put those away, please. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But pearls. Her clothes are a bit small. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hands. Think carefully, one more time, about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? Oh, excuse me. It's Dr. Gray.
I was murdered.
What? Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. You see, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, any unrelated...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that?
But I mean, I have someplace I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Take the shot!
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Bitter. Well now, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. So, what did she look like? You know, she looked almost like a different person.
A different person.
She may have seemed like a different person. However, she was still Maya Fey. We have already made that point abundantly clear.
Yes, that is true. Well then, Ms. Hart, did you happen to see anything else?
Then perhaps, I'm sorry, Maya, I'm yawning, I'm trying to defend you. Then perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all. Eh? Well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, what if it was that of Maya Fey after the channeling? Or maybe... Ow! Foolish fool spouting foolish foolishness, just as I expect of a foolish fool such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean Maya Fey is in fact dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it? Oof, sorry, Maya. Are y'all done here? Can I continue? You guys like hate each other so much, it's actually like 10 times more annoying than you and Edgeworth flirting. And even knowing that, you still persist in being a paranormal photographer? That's why I'm getting out of this here business. This gal's gonna get the dirt on stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on. She goes through jobs faster than a baby through diapers. Ugh. Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on topic for a change?
Well, would it, Mr. Wright?
Nice. Tag teamed in stereo. Guess I should be grateful it's not in 5.1. Such a Dolby. What a surround sound joke? That's really funny. I don't remember that. That's funny. 2, right? 2 what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Ms. Hart, where is the other picture you have been withholding? No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma. What? Was ist das?
Miss Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence.
And what of it? Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this. You're as bad as your father. Your Honor, the defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court. That's not what I was asking. I was just wanting the thing.
Well, yes.
Me? In contempt of court? You can't be serious. But you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child? I was so angry I lost my composure.
Ms. Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court?
I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all. How could you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? Nice typo. Than it's worth? How can you say that? That is a typo I make all the time. If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Nice. Tits. Hey, wait a minute.
What is this picture?
It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? I don't actually think that that's the important argument we want to make here, Phoenix. There's no hole in the sleeve, King. That's way more important, right? I think it's better if we fucking drop the issue. Like... I'm gonna drop it. It's no good. We've been through this so many times.
This is not like you, Mr. Wright. Why are you not objecting?
Uh-oh.
The person in this photo is clearly not the defendant, and yet...
There is no way he could raise an objection and hope to live.
Explain yourself.
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitor room. Were you spying? This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant Maya Fey during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
She looks this way because she's obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she can...
Yet, it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. Ms. Von Karma, a word if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place. What is she? From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind because of the tits. I don't even have a single witty line. It looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
I give up here. The trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Oh, really? Let me, Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya Fey? I can. Because of the sleeve. Like what I was saying in the beginning. What we should have focused on in the beginning, Phoenix. Y'all need glasses. Your Honor.
Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture? Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction?
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange to the court? You cut me off. It cut me off. Scheiße. Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve. But there isn't anything odd about it.
Exactly. And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing. Should be there. Ah! There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Ms. Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence. You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Alright, this should do some major damage to our argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. She's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again. Just jumping the gun again, I see. Your Honor, I I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools.
What do you mean? And what incompetent fools?
Well, let me get some water and I'll... Wasser. If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying through her teeth. I know it. That woman knew everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Franziska von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Poor Gumshoe. And I'm truly always saying that.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor, I'm saving the cake. There is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. I feel like I can make an argument for most of these, but I guess this is the one that matters the most. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person's clearly does not. There can only be one explanation. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether.
What?
Order! 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 If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Why me?
The defense's argument is a complete mess.
A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please, enlighten us.
Hey, witness!
What the heck? Is that any way to ask a gal a favor?
Be quiet, you. You were the one who said that it was only the two of them when you entered the room.
Well, you know.
You were lying. I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see.
Look, sis, you're looking mighty scared, so why don't we say you... Whoa, I swear I wouldn't lie or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest.
You see? Now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. When did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from?
Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
He's so real for that.
Justice for all, Phoenix, you are so real. Oh my god.
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Come on, you can't fall apart here, Phoenix. I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. Wait, did she? I didn't even notice. But anyway, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Oh, she did say Phoenix Wright. I totally didn't even think about it.
Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now?
To turn things around.
Yakten.
That's right. Mia will always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So, where did this intruder appear from? And where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true.
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think that what happened before we forced our way into the channeling chamber is... a third person had entered, or was already there. Your Honor, I would like to present some evidence. I have proof that there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. Wouldn't it be this? Because nobody should have been able to get in, but Pearl had the key. Oh, please take a good look at this.
Okay.
I've already seen it. Thank you.
And what is the purpose of this item?
Don't you see, Your Honor? I don't think you actually see what you are doing.
I think it is the cord that should be sighing at you, Mr. Wright.
Ouch. That's stung. Think it over again. I think the way I'm going about this is all wrong. I have to start over and try to think about things in a different manner. What if before this person broke in, the third person was already in the room, or what if Maya had left that room somehow? Okay, let's try the second one. Maya was still in the room, though. Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this. Is he just wrong? Is, like, he wrong, but we're arguing this case? Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than the detective's salary.
Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of the arrest, the defendant had left the room.
Well, okay. Okay, so the key, yeah. That's not... Ms. Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I've seen it. Hey, that's a channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door. Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes? It looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah, well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. That's preposterous! This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. No! I feel like there's other ways that you could have gotten the key, though. Like, if there was... I get how those two things connect, but whatever.
It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture here has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Ms. Von Karma.
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible.
My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wow! That Nice. Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know?
Yeah, it's not like anyone else in there could have done that.
Nick, I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance.
Yeah, I'm counting on you. I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me?
Sure. Alright, Pearls. You ready to go buy some tickets?
Huh? A ticket?
Poor thing. So sheltered. Wow, that went by so fast. We did it. We did the whole dang trial. Wow. Cool. So great news. I'm not doing anything for Easter, so I'll be able to stream on Sunday. So Sunday, we continue this case. Yippee! I'm excited. It's good timing too, because my voice is starting to get a little rough. But, yeah. Wow, it'll be the last day of March when I see y'all again. So, you know the drill. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you when I see you. I might go take a nap.